Welcome back. My name is Dr. Carl Baird, and today I'll be showing you how to perform the squat if you're struggling with bad knees. So the squat is one of the best movements you can do to help treat knee pain and help with knee arthritis. But the reality is that if you have bad knees, it can be difficult to perform the squat without pain, which causes people to avoid the movement altogether. So in today's video, what I'll do is show you a couple things that you can do and change about your squat so that you're able to squat even if you have bad knees. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you'll want to look at with your squat, if you do have bad knees, is how you're initiating the movement. There's two ways people generally initiate the squat movement. One is unlocking at the knees, meaning my first movement is bending at the knees and then sinking down. The second is unlocking at the hips. So I send my hips back and then I squat down. And so if you're somebody that has bad knees, you want to perform a squat where you unlock at your hips first. So my first movement is sending my hips back and then sinking down into my squat. And this shifts the bulk of the work of the squat into my hips, my glutes, and my hamstrings, and takes pressure off the knees. So just so you can see what I'm saying one more time, instead of squatting by unlocking at the knees, I'm squatting by unlocking at the hips and then coming down. So that's the first thing you can try. Give it a go. The next thing that you'll want to look at is your stance. So I teach this movement to a lot of adults and have found that when I just tell them to squat, a lot of them start with their feet hip width apart and toes pointed straight forward. And that's really how I was taught to squat when I was in gym class back in elementary school. But the problem is that this is too narrow for a lot of people, and it causes a lot of compensations. It can put extra pressure on your knee. So if you're somebody who has bad knees and you're looking to squat, try widening your stance a bit, but then also try turning your toes out. So instead of them pointed forward, you're going to point those toes out. And that allows you, as you sink into your squat, you can really focus on pressing your knees outward, and that's going to take pressure off of the knees and allow you to perform the squat with less impact at the knee, so that you can continue to squat even if you have bad knees. Another thing that you can focus on is just limiting the depth of your squat. So the reality is that as you get older and start dealing with knee pain and knee arthritis, the lower you sink into your squat, the more impact that's going through your knees. And so you might need to just limit the depth. And so let me show you what I mean. I'm actually going to use a slant board because I can't sink into a deep squat because I have really tight ankles. So what I mean by that is, when I sink down into a deep squat like this, there's just a lot of force on the knees, which if you're somebody who's struggling with knee pain, can be a problem. So instead of sinking all the way down, limit your squat depth. And what I usually have my clients focus on is stopping when your thighs get parallel with the ground and then coming back up. And again, that keeps most of the pressure of the squat in your glutes, in your hamstrings, in your hips, rather than your knees. So if you've made all three of those changes and you're still not feeling confident in being able to squat with bad knees, the next step would be to regress the squat, meaning you just switch to easier variations that allow you to build strength and confidence in this movement until you can eventually work your way up to performing a full squat. So let me show you a few of the squat regressions that I use here in my clinic. The first is called a sit to stand, and you just need a box or a chair, and it's started seated, pressing through your legs to stand up, and then coming back down and starting over. From there, the next step is the box squat. So this time you start in a standing position and you can sink your hips back, sit all the way back down, and come up. And once you feel comfortable sitting down on the bench and coming up, the next step of that box squat is to simply tap the box. So now I'm here, tapping, and coming back up. So once you feel confident with those movements and want to start working more into a squat without a box, an easy regression is an assisted squat. So this is something where you have a band or a TRX that you hold on to, and then you perform that same squat. And being able to hold on to something with your hands allows you to use your upper body to help you perform the movement. And the goal is, as you get more confident and stronger with the squat, you use less and less of your hands until you're able to perform an air squat. So give this a try and let me know how it goes. So there you have it. That's everything that you need to use so that you're able to squat even if you have bad knees. Remember, the goal of these changes is to help limit impact on your knees so that you can build strength without stressing your joints. So that's all I got for you today. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I do read them and I'm happy to answer them if I can. Thanks so much for watching.